concerning clean water. And I want to start out with a video.
There are roughly 6 billion people in the world. And 1 billion of them to clean drinking water. 20% of the world consumes 86% of its resources. Tonight, there are 6 billion people in the world, and somewhere around 800 million of them will go to bed hungry. There are 6 billion people in the world, and of that 6 billion, 1 billion survive on less than $1 American dollar a day. Another 2 billion survive on less than $2 American dollars a day. There are 2.2 billion kids in the world. Of those 2.2 billion kids, half of them, 1 billion of them, live in poverty. Now, I don't know your worldview, I don't know your perspective, your background, or your religion, but that is not right.
Okay, the guy in that video, that was Rob Bell. He's a pastor at Mars Hill Church in Grand Rapids, Michigan, or was the pastor there. He recently resigned. But at the beginning of that video, he talked about out of the 6 billion people that live in this world, about 1 billion of them don't have access to clean water, which is quite a large number. Now, have you ever thought about the water coming out of your faucet? You know, when you're really thirsty and you want to pull the lever and get a nice cup of cold water on that nice hot summer day. You just pull out the water and you drink it. It's delicious. Now, think about what happened if you pulled that lever and your water came out looking like this. Not very pleasant. It's not something that you would find interesting to drink. Something that you would find fulfilling. You're so thirsty and all you want is just a drink of water. And this is what you get. How does that make you feel? Are you ready for these numbers? There are 1.1 billion people in the world who do not have access to clean water. And that number comes from the World Health Organization. That number is huge when you think about that number does not only include third world countries, but that number also includes part of at least 15% of the United States. There are about 2 million people that die every year because they don't have access to clean water. Because without clean water, there's an astronomical spread of disease that goes through the water. It causes things like diarrhea and other sicknesses. Diarrhea being the number 1 cause of death. Think about this. There are about 600,000 children a year under the age of 5 that die because they don't have access to clean water. 600,000. That number, to me, is heartbreaking. My interest in this subject of clean water is simple. Very simple. Having clean water is very important. I am privileged to be able to have clean water and to be able to drink it daily. Where I realize now that there are many people in this world who don't have that opportunity. I hope you will join me in this cause in making a difference of getting people clean water, giving people access to something that we have access to on a daily basis. The thing about water is that water sustains life. Water is instrumental in providing a positive public health environment. So this makes clean water an issue not only in foreign countries, this makes clean water an issue in all countries and in all communities and for all people. According to the CDC website, in the United States, 15% of all homes Some homes use animal drinking tanks, rain gathering cisterns, and local streams and ponds as their water source for their families. Those sources that are unregulated by the EPA, and those sources carry many diseases that causes sicknesses within their families. On the EPA website, Environmental Protection Agency website, you can find a list of chemicals and find a list of diseases that are listed in our local water systems. These are things that are not filtered out by our water purifying plants. It's staggering to think about. In African countries like Rwanda, for instance, clean water is even scarcer than what it is here. According to the 20 Liters website, the average residence in Rwanda holds 6 people, so the average family size is of 6. 1 out of every 7 children die in infancy. Part of that is due to the lack of clean water. 2% of all families in Rwanda live without electricity, or have electricity. 89% attend primary schools, and 8% attend secondary schools. 80% live on daily subsistence farming. Less than 1% of families in Rwanda have running waters to their access. 71% use the rivers and ponds as their local watering source. This water is what they use to feed their families with, to make their mashed meals, or to make formula for their babies. The child mortality rate there is 1 in 10 due to the prevalence of waterborne diseases. In the underdeveloped rural areas of Rwanda, 6% of the children have no surviving parents, and 22% have 1 deceased parent. The women in those villages in Rwanda, they walk at least a half mile one way to collect drinking water for their families. Water in these villages is scarce. Why is it important to have clean water? Because life is important. How can you get involved? What can we do as a Western country help out in providing clean water to these villages? There's a couple ways that you guys can get involved and that we can be involved in this effort of clean water. The first one, to get involved in something that is so globally huge, the first effort that we can get involved in is the easiest, and that is to provide financial resources. This is how easy it is. A one-time gift of $20 provides enough clean water for 1 person for 10 years. That's about 4 Starbucks lattes. That's 3 extra value meals from McDonald's. In my mind, these sacrifices are well worth giving for a chance for somebody to have clean water. Our family has been giving to the Clean Water Initiative for 3 years. I see that it's important because this money goes in to digging wells to the local villages so the women don't have to walk a half mile to get clean water. These sand wells that are dug provide a filtration system that filters out diseases and filters out parasites that make children sick and that cause the diarrhea that can kill the children in Rwanda. So it is important to give on a global effort. Another way that you can give, and another way that you can provide, get involved in the efforts of giving clean water, is you can go. What do you mean by go? You can go to those other countries. You can go to those places that do not have access to that clean water, and you can help dig the well. Through websites like 20liters.org, worldvision.org, marshill.org, and thewaterproject.org, they all provide easy ways for you to jump on a missions trip, to jump in an effort to go across the ocean, to go dig a well, and to provide clean water for these villages. And once those wells are dug, not only do you dig the well and then leave, you educate people on how to maintain the wells and how to provide for your families with that clean water. without having to walk the extra half miles. So it is important. So I ask you this again. Are you thirsty? Do you want to drink this? Or do you want other people to drink this? Or would you rather have them have the opportunity to drink clean water? I'm thirsty daily, and I know other people are thirsty daily. And clean water is important. Clean water sustains life. Clean water sustains a healthy community. Is one of your leading factors today. So I'm asking you today, will you be part of saving a life? Will